Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Talking Packers with Steve. Heading into NFL Week 15, three weeks. These final 3 weeks of the NFL season, as you can call it, the home stretch to the end of the regular season, just like in the WWE. Right now, we're slowly getting to the home stretch of what I like to call the end of the WWE season, getting to WrestleMania, and then after that, even though there technically is no off season in WWE like there is in NFL and for other sports. To me, WrestleMania is the Super Bowl, of course, Super Bowl equivalent, and then the night after WrestleMania is like the preseason of the NFL or week one of the NFL, just starting the season again. But obviously here in the NFL, we're getting to that stretch run. Same thing with the WWE, it's just the same timeline. Difference is the NFL season actually has an end and it ends in February with the Super Bowl. And the WWE, which technically does not have a off season, ends in April, my birthday month, in April. So there's a little bit longer. But anyways, point is back to the NFL before I talk too much pro wrestling on my NFL show. But just looking over the scores of last week. Game of the week last week, I would say, even before it started, would be the Thursday night game, the Minnesota Vikings, Arizona Cardinals. Carson Palmer, just setting a little fire in a way with his play. I think he definitely should be in the conversation for MVP. Cam Newton, sure. I know Big Hugh of Team Boy TV would definitely be cheerleading for Cam Newton, but I don't know. I gotta say that maybe he shouldn't be the front runner. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I mean, sure, if he wins, he wins. Whatever. But I just think it would be better fit to have either Tom Brady or anybody else really win the NFL MVP. Tom Brady, Carson Palmer. See who else. No, those probably be the three that's going to be in the final voting. But yeah, that's pretty much. Like I said, if I don't have people here on, then I really don't go too long for these episodes. Anyways, Panthers Falcons. Panthers staying undefeated, winning 38-0, crushing Atlanta, a team that started undefeated and kind of lost their way here in the last couple of weeks. I guess too bad for them. The Colts, ME of Main Event Marks, or as he's known on Twitter, the CEO. His Colts got their butts kicked by Jacksonville in Jacksonville, 51-16. Obviously, I predicted his team to win, I think, but even if I didn't I would have thought it would have been much closer than what happened. Like much closer. And in a surprise, in a way, the Oakland Raiders beating the Denver Broncos on the road 15-12. That's who we face next. Packers face next, the Raiders. And I kind of wish that Race Central or Regional 1995, those Twitter handles would have been able to join this episode, but I guess that is not going to happen. But either way, it should be a good game between Packers and Raiders. I mean, the Raiders are an improved team, a team, like I said, from the outset, in the beginning of this season. It's going to be much better than most think, and a team that that I believe and hope make it to the playoffs. And if they do make it to the playoffs, then maybe they will even be able to make some noise. Anyways, let's move on to week 15 here. Let's give my predictions out here. Buccaneers at Rams, Thursday Night Football, NFL Network. I'll go Buccaneers over Rams 27-13. Jets against the Cowboys, 17-10 Jets. Saturday Night Football. And then Sunday, we got Bears Vikings. I'll get the Vikings over the Bears, 23-20. Falcons Jaguars. I got Jaguars 34-7 over the Falcons. Texans against NBC Colts. I got the Colts over the Texans, but barely, 21-17. Panthers Giants Team Boy or Big Eagle Team Boy TV live. Here's Carolina Panthers against the Giants. I see the Panthers staying undefeated, 35-17. Panthers. Titans Patriots 48-10 Patriots. Buffalo Bills versus the Redskins. I got Bills over Washington 24-10. Chiefs Ravens. JB of Team Boy TV Live is Ravens. I got the Chiefs over the Ravens 17-3. Browns and the Seahawks. I got the Seahawks over the Browns 27-17. Packers Raiders I'll talk about later. Broncos Steelers over the Broncos 28-21. Dolphins Chargers. Dolphins over the Chargers 17-10. Bengals 49ers. I got Bengals over the 49ers 24-10. Arizona at Philadelphia Sunday Night Football. I got Arizona over Philadelphia 35-17. Monday Night Football Detroit Saints. I guess the Saints. I got the Saints over the Lions 24-21. And Packers Raiders. Obviously, I got my Packers over the Raiders. Probably gonna go to like 28-17 Packers over the Raiders. Should still be a pretty good game. Just not as good as as you would want it. And obviously for the Raider fans, they're not going to be getting the win. The Packers, trying to show up now here. Here as we get to the winning moments of the season. Man, things are going on. Like I said, not much else to say about Sorry about this. I can't really. I gotta do one thing at a time, sort of thing. Not much really to say about the game against the Cowboys, at least for me. I was hoping that my friend here would be able to join, uh, and we could do a little back and forth there, but that not to be the case. Still a Packer fan. That would have been nice. Hmm. But anyways, like I said, I might just be leaving early. I'm just waiting to see for a response from him. If he'll be able to jump on and join here in a couple of minutes. I did everything I needed to talk about. I predicted the games already. Like I said, it's the holiday season. I have other things that I have to do. I definitely do want to have these episodes up here, and if people wanted to join, people could. And sometimes, really, what people do, really, for their episodes, I know some people wait, they go live technically, and then they wait like 5 minutes where it's all quiet and just, talking, random talk with people, and or because they're talking with themselves and waiting for people to join. They hang out because they know people will. And they wait a couple minutes to get settled, and then they send out the link because they do things differently for their thing than I do. Fine, but still, they send out the link for the Twitter, and then people join, and he usually has it full. Um, but anyways, um, that that's what's going on there. I mean, I really maybe should try that. But anyways, hopefully everyone has a good evening. Happy holidays. Have a great weekend. I'll be back here Tuesday to talk WWE as I always do. Steve Wrestling Ramble. I continue chugging away with that after ending my time with the other show that I was part of. But now devoting myself to my own stuff and trying to grow my brand, grow my channel, which hopefully, like I said, I'm not really too happy with myself with my episodes this week of Steve's Wrestling Ramble and this one tonight, just because, I thought that people would be able to join. But hey, things happen. People have families, people have jobs, people have things that happen, and that definitely is more important than a gosh darn podcast. As much as it's important to me, to them, there's other things more important. So I understand. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying that because that's just the case. So with that, I was planning for that and kind of whatever. But I'll keep these episodes here. But I'm just letting you know. Don't worry. Next week things will be bigger, better, and stronger. And I'm gonna head and continue to watch my Comedy Wednesday of shows on ABC. If you haven't seen any of them, The Middle, which is ending shortly. The Goldbergs are coming up next. That Modern Family, which is the best of them all for Wednesday nights, in my opinion. Modern Family, and then Blackish, which grew on me. I wasn't hip to it or enjoyed it right away, but over time, it's actually pretty good. I recommended to a couple of my friends already to watch Modern Family and Blackish. So hopefully they did last week and tonight. But without ado, enjoy the NFL games. Like I said, the final 3 weeks of the season. If you're in fantasy football, which I'm sure a heck of a lot of people are, I mean, just crunch the numbers and do the statistics for fantasy football, especially for DraftKings and other sites like that. Which I would hope that someday maybe we might be a sponsor for this show, especially if my show wants to quote unquote go big time. But anyways, but if you are in a fantasy football league and you have playoffs like I do, for the league I own or manage, let's just say I manage on NFL.com because I do. This year I did 10 leagues, 10 leagues, 6 on ESPN, the maximum this year. It used to be 8, but then a couple years ago it changed over 6. So I have 6 teams on NFL.com, one that I manage. So I, do extra work there, helping the people in that league if there's issues or things aren't working right, or all that other stuff. Being a manager, and then I do 4 leagues on ESPN.com. So 6 and 4, 10. So I do 10 leagues. Right now, most of them are in the playoffs, or at least either already have been. Like my one I own is into its second week of the playoffs, and the other ones are just starting the playoffs this weekend, or technically starting with Thursday games, but this quote unquote NFL week with week 15. So it's the nitty gritty for this, for the NFL teams themselves, obviously, the playoff seedings and whatnot. But for fantasy football players, the nitty gritty, because it's playoff time for you as well, whether you're in the consolidation playoff thing or you're actually in the main event. Which, by the way, I might as well say, tomorrow night, yours truly, Steve, here will be on Main Event Marks. I am each and every week talking WWE. I'm sure we'll be going over WWE TLC, even more. The NXT TakeOver show that actually happened today, and much, much more WWE talk there on Main Event Marks. So check it out. But as I was saying with fantasy football, and make sure your roster is set, make sure things are ready to go. I know for me, at first I almost forgot to even look at my rosters before the Thursday game started, because I thought, well, now that I know that NFL teams aren't on bye weeks anymore, I was like, okay, I'll count my rosters bad anyways. I didn't really change it that many times with any of them, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Whenever, and I got lucky last week with that mindset, but this week, with injuries, and especially if your league does go into the playoffs 2 weeks 17, players being rested, and I mean resting, not arrested. I mean resting. They're being the coach resting the players for the team for the playoff push. So that sort of stuff. But anyways, just want to give that word of comments as well. So hopefully everybody has a good weekend. Enjoy the NFL games. And again, I'll be back Tuesday with my wrestling podcast of awesomeness, Steve Wrestling Ramble. And as always, take care.